That's a fact. Now, you know who got beef with? Tyler, the Creator. Now, Tyler, the Creator was just trying to give a nice little tribute to D'Angelo, RP to D'Angelo. When he caught the most wicked this you on Twitter, when everybody started bringing back old things from Tyler, the Creator. Have y'all got to see some of the backlash Tyler, the Creator have gotten over the last years, and some of the tweets that resurfaced and some of the pictures that resurfaced?
I had a problem with this.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Tox can attest. I rock with Tyler for years. Tyler was always he did what he had to do, right or wrong, to grab the public consciousness. We wasn't hearing Tyler on no Power 105, no Hot 97, no like major urban media platforms, right? We heard about him through MTV, some of the rocket stuff that he did and the things that he said, crazy verses, telling Bruno Mars, I'm gonna stab you in your esophagus and whatever, you know, like saying the most wild and crazy thing.
Shit.
Yeah, like he turned up. And if you rocked with it, you rocked with it. If you didn't, you did it. He was, I don't want to say blacklisted, but he was like a hip hop outcast. And I think a lot of people co-signed with that. It was like, but it wasn't our people, right? It wasn't until about album 4 where he really took the chance to like, not took the chance, but like started experimenting with different people. Matter of fact, no, I think it was Wolf. Wolf is where he really got into his bag where, you know, I'm rapping with Pharrell and producing and with the Odd Future and the Frank Love and everything that was coming around. Pause, Frank Love sounds crazy. But, you know, all those different layers of it, he was like, oh, this kid could really rap. He really like, it's not just, you know, I'm zany, I'm the weird black kid that the white kids love. And in his transition in the last 5 or 6 years, Gangsta Grill's mixtapes, right? Great features for people like Ty Dolla $ign, features like Youngboy, features like, you know, just doing really great rap music, getting co-signs by Kanye and the likes of all like the hip hop. Drake going out to his concert, like people showing him love. Like he cultivated a fan base. He did what white artists do, what Post Malone did. You do some zany shit or you do some wild shit, or in that case, they just acted black. He acted white, like racist white.
But no, I agree with you, but does that mean he's a genuine person then? Because now, over the last year, I've seen you starting to speak out. You're starting to speak out against people infiltrating the culture, because he did go after that white rapper Ian, and you starting to like embrace the culture a bit more now. But your digital footprint is real.
Yeah, you spent real. And guess what?
You spent half of your career. Like I'm seeing, like I knew he was a wild boy, and I never really paid attention to Odd Future like that back in the days. So I never really paid attention to too many of his antics or his music videos. But due to this backlash, I started seeing some of his digital footprint. This man was insane.
And let me
Nazi to titties. I'm into like some of the stuff that he was tweeting. I'm like, damn, was I there for that? I was like, I didn't even remember him doing all of that before.
Let me interject again. As from a casual fan to a really fond fan of Tyler, the Creator, it was all there. And nigga, if we could pull up some of our tweets from 10, 15 years ago, it's probably a couple wild things. And I'm not saying it's to that level, but think about it again. From a marketing standpoint, he created a space where it was cool for the weird black kids to go and get hit. So him, Earl, Frank, Sid, they weren't getting major looks back then, and they created a space for other weird people. Now, was what he said all right? No. But again, in that era, there was no cancel culture. It was all straight, I'm going to just be a dickhead.
I ain't gonna lie, some of this shit he needed to be canceled for. I'm sorry.
But there was no such thing.
I'm looking at some of this shit and I'm like,
but that's in this era. That's like going back to looking at like early 2000s shit that people was doing.
No, it's like if back in the days you dropped a F-bomb or whatnot back in the days, like all these, because that was what it was. Nah, this nigga had Nazi shit, watermelon, blackface. He had niggas. He had whiteface hanging up the signs doing a salute. That's something totally different.
But to that point, did he know? Again, at 18, did he think he was going to be considered one of the top 10 hip hop acts in the world?
Yeah, but I think where people have a problem with it, this is not coming off of out of nowhere with him. This is coming off of the last year of him trying to police hip hop and having a question about culture and like sort of gatekeeping. Like I said before, This is coming off of him comment about Ian, about other people joining the culture and all that. Now you're mature now, but now that you're sort of taking this grown man response and doing all this, that you wasn't like that, and niggas are showing you like, yo, bro, look where you came from, and now you come here with this type of authority.
Absolutely.
In a sense,
if I'm one of the best niggas doing it, yes, as a grown ass man, I can tell you,
nigga, you saw what you did back then, nigga. You was wildin'.
You gonna hold somebody accountable? So, all right, we gonna hold him accountable. He said 18. I'm not saying what he did was right, but I'm saying
not what he did 18. But I'm just saying his whole persona.
But that's
then.
what got him on. So that's the thing. Like, it got him on in an era where that shit was cool. Remember, he was on MTV and the Grammys and all these different platforms. They were hyping him up because not just of the music, like, oh, you could rap, but the aesthetic, the wild antics, that's what kept people interested in him, and especially these white labels. You know, they wanted to project that negative shit, and it's like, yo, he's still cultivating.
But you could get judged for your past, though.
Absolutely. But the niggas that's judging him, they're growing up in an era where if you tell somebody that you're fat, you're gonna get canceled.
Oh yeah,
you feel me?
I'm still judging him though, and of course, he was just wild.
It comes up because you're right. He's trying to be pro-black now. Cool, but at the same time, this is a black man who probably wouldn't have got the opportunity he's getting if he didn't do that zany shit. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, the people that are trying to call him out on something, it's two different arguments. Yes, he was a dumbass kid, absolutely. Like some of that shit, when it came out, like, you wildin', my nigga.
But you know what it reminds me? It reminds me you turn into the person that you didn't like, because he's turning into the person at 18 that he didn't like, and that's why he went against the odds. Because at 18, niggas was hating on Odd Future, like Joe Budden over here. He was yelling because he was in the elevator with this nigga. Every old head wasn't fucking with Odd Future, and he rebelled. Now you becoming that old head nigga and doing the same thing too. So you kind of grew up to the person that you kind of rebelled against when you was younger.
Joe Budden was a hating ass nigga. Let's keep it about Joe Budden. But
shout out to Earl Sweatshirt. Those skits with Joe Budden in that vest is still
he hated
great.
Them. He hated them fucking skits. I again, I'm sorry to keep going. I'm leaning into the space. Like, there wasn't room in the space. He created a space for like that zany type of music. So I think I appreciate that, and I think that it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, yeah, social responsibility didn't fucking exist for real when you think about a lot of artists coming back from 10 years ago. For him to grow up and say, yo, and he's coming from a pro-black, I'm talking about D'Angelo, I'm calling out niggas, and I'm like, yo, I had to do this zany shit, but my bars was like, oh, like, that's me. Like, I'm still dropping bars, I'm cultivating. It's a lot of instant noodle rap right now. It's a lot of niggas that's chat GPT and they shit, a lot of niggas that's plants out here. And it's like, I'm gonna tell y'all about it. Like, at least we can say Charlie was rapping. He had some shit.
Oh yeah, the Odd Future was a very talented group. They had the internet, they had Earl Sweatshirt, they had Frank.
They about to put out a new album.
Talented group.
Internet really got one of my top 10 albums of all time.
But I just want to say, yo, kids, your digital footprint is real, even more real than it was back then. So how you try to get on? Because I see a lot of motherfuckers, especially these content creators, getting on by doing these outrageous public pranks and stuff. Yeah, that might put you on right now and get you some bread. But hey, not everyone's gonna be Tyler the Creator. In a couple of years, you're gonna be broke like Kevin McCall. Let's get to it.
Kevin McCall.